What will the 2015 World Cup ICC World Cup trophy look like? Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott. You're looking at these pictures. They're there at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. It's the historic Melbourne Cricket Ground. Kapil, Sunil, Gavaskar with them. Prime Minister Narendra Modi presented a charkha to the Australian Prime Minister. Not just that, the two together unveiled the 2015 World Cup trophy. Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the historic Melbourne Cricket Club with Kapil and Sunil Gavaskar. Headlines Today's managing editor Rahul Kaval now joins us from Ground Zero. Rahul, take it away. The two Prime Ministers hit it off well together.
That's absolutely right, Gaurav. Inside the Melbourne Cricket Ground, and the Prime Minister and Tony Abbott were stuck in a selfie fest for at least 45 minutes. Neither in any hurry at all. They were here, and these are people who be members of the Melbourne Cricket Ground, and those who've been invited to this particular reception are possibly the most well-heeled people in Melbourne, in India, and in Australia. Well, they were going completely wild, trying to get pictures clicked with the Prime Ministers, and that was very interesting. Gaurav, if you give us a few seconds, we'll hopefully be able to get our video signal on as well. Just as we speak, the Prime Minister of both countries walked across the Melbourne Cricket Ground. When the Prime Minister spoke, he said he hopes that the finals, which will happen at this beautiful stadium, will actually be a tournament, which will actually be a match between India and Australia. Tony Abbott putting his arm around Narendra Modi, a great sense of familiarity seems to have developed between the both of them. Tony Abbott, when he spoke, said, it is as if Narendra Modi is my brother. You know, in diplomacy, things are known to be very formal, but between Tony Abbott and Narendra Modi, there's now a high level of familiarity that seems to have developed, and he said that Modi is like my brother. That's what he said. You've got Kapil here, you've got Sunil Gavaskar here, you've got Steve Waugh, you've got Alan Border. In fact, the Border-Gavaskar trophy for this year was unveiled a short while before now as well. That's something that happened. This is the last visit. This is the last leg of the Prime Minister's trip to Australia, and he says that this is just the last day of my trip, but a new journey begins from now. That's what the Prime Minister said, and it's really been a very successful visit, especially when it comes to the relationship between both these leaders. A great level of camaraderie developing, and Modi reveling, Gaurav, on the diplomatic stage. You tracked him in Japan, you tracked him in Nepal. He's increasing in confidence. He was speaking from a teleprompter when we saw him at the town hall in Brisbane, but today he didn't have a teleprompter in front of him. He spoke very persuasively at the Melbourne Cricket Ground without the help of the teleprompter. He spoke also at the Parliament in Canberra, once again very purposefully. In fact, people, some Australians said that, I thought he couldn't speak English or didn't speak it well. Well, those days of Modi not being able to speak well seem to be long gone, Gaurav.
Indeed, and this is a rather successful visit, better than expected, Rahul. I mean, apart from the personal chemistry between Prime Minister Tony Abbott and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, calling him his brother, or that big hug, the warm handshake. Apart from that, big takeaways are the relationship between the two countries coming forward, really warm relationship, Rahul.
Well, Gaurav, a very successful visit would involve, say, for example, the free trade agreement that China and Australia have signed yesterday going through. Now, that would be a big ticket takeaway. This visit didn't have those significant takeaways, but it does several things. It establishes Modi's presence as a leader who clearly commands the will, the majority, the love and the support of his people. Even over here, it almost seems as if even Tony Abbott said he's never seen anything like Narendra Modi. There's a Narendra Modi Express that went from Melbourne to Sydney and has just come back. The level of popularity is huge. I think it establishes Narendra Modi as a global statesman. In terms of concrete takeaways, those takeaways aren't there just yet. But in terms of what this is achieving, in terms of the base that is being set, in terms of establishing Prime Minister Narendra Modi as a major player on the world stage. Got to remember, in Sydney yesterday, the Italian Prime Minister was at an event, the Chinese Prime Minister was at an event, the Indian Prime Minister was at an event as well. The scale, the scope, the size of what the Indian Prime Minister was able to pull off completely dwarfed everything any other world leader did. In fact, the Australian, one of Australia's popular newspapers this morning, says that Modi got the kind of reception that Barack Obama can only dream about these days. The Sydney Morning Herald says that Katy Perry, who will be performing at the Alphonse Arena, will not get the kind of rock star welcome that Narendra Modi got.
Okay. Clearly, rockstar Narendra Modi there in Australia. Rahul Kanwal, for the moment, many thanks for joining me with the latest.